is Nick A. Caporella, President and Chief Executive Officer of Burnup and Sin Incorporated of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. What's the last name? The name of the company is Burnup and Sims, not Sin, as I got it on. You see, when I get down here to Miami, the first thing I think about is sin. We don't have any in New York City. Nick Caporella grew up in the agricultural and mining area of the state of Pennsylvania in a time of depression in that area. At age 11, he collected scrap metal to sell to junk dealers. He searched dumps and along railroad tracks for scrap pieces of coal. He started a bicycle reconditioning business, cutting up old conveyor belts for mud flaps. In his early 20s, he purchased a used drag line and started his own site preparation business. His company grew and was later acquired by Burnup and Sims Incorporated, the nation's leading telecommunications and cable television service company. He eventually became its president and chief executive officer. Nick came up the hard way, but the exciting way, by unremitting work and positive thinking to notable success and an honorable position in this life. It gives me great pleasure to present to you, sir, the Horatio Alger Award. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Peel, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. In keeping with the mood of these last 2 days, I would like to tell you of someone who was responsible for me, my ideals, and my philosophy. It's that philosophy and those ideals that led me here this evening. And I think it only just that I introduce that man to you, so that you can get a complete understanding and a good feeling for him. I would like you to close your eyes and move your head forward. I'm going to recite a poem that will completely describe the man to you. Somebody said it couldn't be done, and he with a chuckle replied, maybe it couldn't, but he wouldn't be one to say so until he tried. So he buckled right in with a trace of a grin. On his face, if he worried, he hid it. And he started to sing as he tackled this thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. Most of you who knew my father would say that completely describes that individual. Many, many years ago, when I was a small boy, approximately 7 years old, my father was building a septic tank at our home. This home was constructed on an ash dump. For those of you who don't know, that's a pile of residue left over from underground mining operations. Most of my family, at the time I recall, always commented on the luxurious surroundings of that home being on an ash dump. Well, we were constructing this septic tank. We couldn't get very close to the location with our truck that contained a concrete block, so the truck was parked approximately 150 feet away. My father and I started to carry the concrete blocks from the truck to the septic tank. I was so small and the blocks were so heavy, I wanted desperately to do well for him, and he suggested I carry a small block rather than a large one. These small blocks were used to construct corners. He asked me to take 1/2 block, put it in both of my arms, and walk slowly toward the location. As we started to walk, he said, "Nick, I'm going to teach you something today that will help you carry these blocks better." And he started. Somebody once said that it couldn't be done. And I would repeat, somebody once said that it couldn't be done. The next trip from the truck to the septic tank location, my father suggested I carry 2 half blocks, one in each arm, so to balance me and not to sag from left to right. And he said, "Okay, let's go." Somebody once said that it couldn't be done, and he, with a chuckle, replied, and I'd say, somebody once said that it couldn't be done, and he, with a chuckle, replied. I don't know when it started, but I noticed that I was carrying a full block each trip from the truck to the septic tank. And I'll never forget, as he handed me the last one, he said, and he tackled this thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. It was many years later that I came to realize the importance of that lesson that day. It was a philosophy lesson that has enabled me to achieve far beyond my wildest dreams. If someone would have told me that if I worked very, very hard, I would end up standing before such an impressive group with all my friends, loved ones, business associates, listening to me speak about an award that is shared by so many distinguished individuals in our nation, I would have not believed it. I believe that philosophy lesson has enabled me to get here this evening, and because of that, I accept this award on behalf of my father, who gave me my direction in life, and my mom, who claims to be responsible for all other qualities I may have, and rightfully so. On behalf of my parents and all my loved ones, my brother, his family, my wonderful children, and most especially my lovely wife, Thomasina, a beautiful person that the Lord decided to only make one of, I wanted to thank Dr. Peel, the awards committee, my fellow recipients, our most gracious host this evening, Carlos Arbolea, and all those who had a part in helping me make this evening a memory that time cannot erase. Thank you.